But anyway, we're in game right now. Let's concentrate on that instead. We're on Steps of War here. Silver spawn in top right. Avokodo spawn in bottom left. There are only 2 spawns in this map. It's pretty interesting. This map is going to be sort of the same playstyle as the previous one. Let's hope this lag doesn't persist. But Pantheon fighting, yes, we see it, Fluke. We have seen it a few times already. But this map works sort of the same way, I would guess, as Jungle Basin. You can expand pretty early as Zerg, and you can defend that expansion pretty easily. But there are so many sneaky little tricks that Terran players can do in games like this and in matchups like this. This map does wow, this is terrible. Hold on, I just gotta stop here and just admire the lag. It's actually Chase that's lagging right now. It might have just been an alt tab or something. Let's see if it gets a bit better. And it does. Okay, things are smoothing out a little bit here. But as I was saying, there's a lot that Terran players can do here. And Avokodo, one of the more creative players in South Africa, he definitely knows how to mess around with his opponent, how to get inside their heads and just, you know, either confuse them or totally throw them off their game. And that's what he's probably going to try to do here. He knows that Silva is perfectly capable of taking him down, but yeah, not if he throws him off his thinking and sort of just irritates him all game long. And I know that's very possible as a Terran player. Avokodo is actually currently 1 up. It's 1-0 to Avokodo in this best of 5 series. And I gotta say, he is looking like he's well seasoned. Okay, he's been practicing a lot. He's got his ducks in a row here. He definitely knows what he wants to do, and he does it every single game perfectly, sort of flawlessly actually. So the spawning pool goes down for Silva. Pretty normal. 14 pool. He decides to get the pool before the hatchery. It seems pretty normal nowadays to do that, especially if you can get a couple of Zerglings out early to use either as scouts or just to try to do a little bit of damage, a bit of a harass on your opponent, on the Terran's base, and definitely to keep these SCVs out of your own base. Yeah, this is a best of 5. So yeah, over in Avokodo's base, he's again blocking his choke with this Rax and Supply Depot. I'd like to see our Zerg player being a little bit more aggressive in this game, because in the previous game he spread out nicely. I actually want to say he had map control. He had 3 expansions up before his opponent had 2 up, I think. Maybe around the same time he got his 3rd one up as his opponent's natural. But he had, if you ask me, map control. He had nice creep spread. He had a decent amount of population compared to the Terran player, but he just didn't move out. He didn't let's just say capitalize on that. So let's see. Silva got a nice look around his opponent's base. Avokodo building a bunker here. This is what you see nearly every game, Terran versus Zerg. We didn't see it in the previous game because that natural was so well protected so far back. But right here, he's going to keep that. He's probably going to stop that bunker just before it's finished. Here come the two first Zerglings just to delay that hatchery should it go down soon. He's not going to be able to save this SCV, sadly. That one's going to go down. But let's see if he can get some valuable scouting information out of that at least. Ooh, he didn't go in there. He doesn't know that the Roach Warren is down, so I think he really should have rather sacrificed that SCV to get a bit more sight in his opponent's base. There you go, the Zerglings are on the bunker, keeping them busy for a little while longer. We've got the lair coming up for our Zerg player, and Avokodo over here throwing down his factory. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually goes for something different than the previous game. The previous game was just a lot of Marines and tanks. That was it. That was what Avokodo had in the previous game. That was his game plan. He stuck with it. He did get a few Helions out earlier just for that bit of harass and that bit of irritation, I gotta say. And those drops, you know, they were pretty good, but he didn't really use those those medvacs to actually heal his infantry units. He just used them to courier them around the map. Here come the first two roaches. You could call this a roach rush, but I'm not sure if you can rush with only 2 roaches at a pretty well fortified Terran wall. So that one didn't work out. So he just popped in there to say, hey, look, I've got roaches. Now you know, I'm going to get out of here now. So I don't know if that was the best idea by Silva, but he tried it anyway. So he made his opponent think that he's got roaches. He carries on building roaches, so I'm trying to think where the advantage is in that, but yeah, I don't think there is one. So the Baneling Nest, I keep saying Baneling Spire, the Baneling Nest is on its way out, second gas on its way. I wonder if Silva is going to get a couple of tier 2 units in this game, because those infestors came pretty late, and I gotta say, those Ultralisks way too late, and he just threw them at his opponent pretty carelessly in the previous game. Not quite working in his favor. A bit more scouting here. That Zergling very lucky to make it away from that Marauder alive. Looks like Avokodo deciding to move out right now. If you had to compare the sizes right now, we got 36 pop versus 42 pop. And I gotta say, the Terran army is slightly more impressive at the moment. But there come the Banelings, so a couple of well-placed Banelings will definitely sort out these Marines and Marauders. Here come the Helions now. They take a few pot shots at those Banelings. Not quite enough damage to do anything serious. Oh my goodness, the Roaches with their nice long range, doing pretty good. How is the Roach range compared to a Marauder now? What does a Marauder's range look like? Range 6, okay, so Marauder's still outrange them by 2. Sorry, I'm actually just figuring this out as I go along here. Very interesting move he's doing here with the Spine Crawler, trying to get it on his choke here. I gotta say, he might want to put on a Creep Tumor pretty soon, because that Spine Crawler, not going to do so good there on its lonesome. So it looks like Avokodo deciding to expand right now. He checks his opponent's natural with a scan. You can see there are absolutely no drones there, no power drone in from Numb right now, which is actually what I was talking about in the previous game. So difficult to decide what you want to get. You never know if you want to if you should build drones or Zerglings, Roaches, whatever. Combative units or workers, that's always the toughest toss-up in these games. Avokodo removing one bunker to put down the next bunker. He's also making sure his base is defended well enough. Got an observer out, overseer coming out for Numb. He just wants to have a look around his opponent's base, and the spire is coming down again. But I'm gonna say again, I hope he uses it this time. I really think that Mutalisks would have done him a world of good in the previous game. Look how cool this looks. This creep just raining down on this spine crawler here. So this is a pretty interesting trick that some Zerg players are doing now. I see it a lot in the replays that I watch, that you can throw down the creep with your overlord, and then you can throw down a creep tumor right there. So you can pretty much skip a big piece of creep, throw down the creep tumor, and let's just say speed the spread up quite a lot. Ooh, a bit of lag here. This Helion just having a bit of a look around here, peeking around. You can see that this creep is being spread very nicely. I don't think these players are going to be too happy about this lag. If only a name would pop up and tell us who is lagging. Let's hope it's not you again, Chase. So the first few Mutalisks are on their way out. I think a little bit of harass would definitely do Numb a lot of good in this game. He can definitely keep his opponent a little bit more busy. Oh, there's a changeling in Avokodo's base. That's pretty interesting. You should actually run it around and just have a look if there are any missile turrets, because that's going to be, this base is ripe for the taking. Look at that mineral line, all those workers there. Not much that he's going to be able to do should a couple of Mutalisks sneak their way around here, but Avokodo always seemingly on the ball. 2 missile turrets just going up, and I gotta say, just in time. They're gonna finish the second those Mutalisks get there. So Stimpack at last coming down for the Terran player. That is pretty late, but I guess he could afford to do that because his opponent is